Today, WikiLeaks published another 1,100 emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta. Fox News chief intelligence correspondent Catherine Harris spent the day digging through those mails. Hi, Catherine.
Well, thank you, Brett. Well, the emails that have just been released really simply cast a new light on some of the reporting of our colleagues here in Washington, D.C., who are following the campaign. And there's a series of exchanges with the reporter John Harwood, who you know from CNBC, also the New York Times, where he's really laudatory about Clinton's appearance and her performance in these interviews. He at one point says she had a very strong performance to her campaign chairman.
He's writing this to John Podesta in an email, correct?
That's right. Very strong performance. There's another email where he says her interview with NBC's Andrea Mitchell was much more comfortable and relaxed than a previous interview with CNN. And it does appear to be a crossing of the line in terms of the communications with the campaign.
And what else did you learn about relationships between journalists and the Clinton?
Well, there's another email from Donna Brazil, who wears a couple of different hats. She's now interim chair of the DNC, and she also is a commentator for CNN. And in an email to the Clinton team.
Now, what role was she in this at this point? Was
if my memory is correct, she would have been in the CNN commentator's role and had not yet taken on.
She didn't have an official role at the DNC at this time.
But she's very involved, as you know. She's very plugged in.
She's a long-time
with the
Democratic
DNC.
Party operative for sure.
The email is entitled "Sometimes I Get the Questions." Every once in a while in advance.
What was that in reference to?
That was in reference to the body of the email, where she writes to Jen Palmieri, who's head of communications. There's a question here that I think may be a little problematic, and she goes out to list the question.
Now, she's talking about the questions that are for a forthcoming town hall on CNN.
Right. That's correct.
And she's at CNN and hears about this and puts the word out about this subject.
She passes it along to the Clinton campaign. Now, if you look at the transcript from the town hall, it's not exactly verbatim, but it's very, very close. And I think at the very least you could say they tipped them off in advance to the topic and the framework that they would be facing in that town hall.
Wow. Anything else?
Well, there's also another email from 2015, a well-respected New York Times reporter. I just wanted to make sure I say the name correctly here. Mark Leibovich.
Yeah, who wrote a very well-received book about Washington. It was very tough on the institutions and to some extent the media.
That's correct. Well, let's pull up just one of the quotes here because you can see for yourself. He's pushing out some quotes to the Clinton campaign, allowing them to veto what will be used. And it says, "I wanted the option to use all," that's a reference to the quotes, "and you could veto what you didn't want. That's why I selected the 5 or 6 that I sent to you." I mean, as you know from your decades of experience, it's unheard of to give the subject of your story veto over what the quotes are. It's just not done.
Yes, that is unusual. I suspect that, you know, sometimes you check a story with someone you've written about.
You might check the language, but
yeah, but
not a veto.
Not a veto over quotes.
Correct.
That's a little unusual. Catherine, thank you very much.